Good evening. I'm Danielle Catalan, and this is Project Easy News. Alright, so I decided to go home this weekend for President's Day, and Elisa isn't here with me, but we've worked very hard on this, doing it between two cities, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's just jump right into it and start with international affairs. On Friday, Germany's president, Christian Wolff, announced his resignation following a series of scandals. This decision is unlikely to affect Germany's handling of the Eurozone debt crisis, said Carsten Brzezinski, a senior economist. The scandals involve alleged political favors and financial impropriety during his time as state premier of Lower Saxony. On Friday, a suicide bomber on a motorcycle drove into a crowded market in Pakistan and killed 34 people with the explosion. The blast had wounded 42 people. The suicide bomber struck when people gathered in the market following their Friday prayer. On Saturday, the Israeli Defense Minister, Ehud Barak, called for even tougher sanctions on Iran to force the Islamic Republic to abandon its nuclear ambitions. Additionally, Barak added that quickening the pace of these sanctions would force Iran to review the consequences of isolation and subsequently come to the negotiating table. Yesterday, 2 Iranian warships sailed through Egypt's Suez Canal into the Mediterranean Sea. It is not yet clear where the 2 vessels and a supply ship are headed. However, ISNA, an Iranian news agency, said the ships are on their way to Syria. The Suez Canal is a key player in international trade. Millions of barrels of oil travel through it every day. It is important to notice that these ships are traveling through the Suez Canal at the same time as tensions between Iran and Israel are high. On Saturday, 2 people in Greece tied up a guard, entered the Archaeological Museum of Olympia, and took 65 to 68 clay and brass statues, as well as a gold ring. The museum is built on an ancient site in the peninsula and is considered extremely important in Greece. The lighting of the Olympic flame ceremony for the 2012 London Olympics is scheduled to take place on May 10th at the ancient Olympia site, the same location of the museum. The Syrian state is continuing to deteriorate. Amongst the latest deaths are an attorney general and a judge. They were shot on their way to work by an armed terrorist group, says the Syrian Arab news agency. However, these deaths follow the death of city council member Jamal al-Bish, who was also apparently killed by an armed terrorist group yesterday. Today, 2 civilians died at the hands of regime forces. At a security checkpoint in Aleppo, 1 civilian was shot to death and another was killed by indiscriminate gunfire in homes. The regime has also arrested 295 doctors since the 11th month uprising began. The local coordination committees of Syria stated that this is part of a fierce campaign against physicians. Residents of Syria, and especially in homes, described this dreadful experience as an endless nightmare of snipers being perched on rooftops, random shelling on houses, wounded civilians dying long and painful deaths because of the lack of medical care available. On Sunday, a suicide bomber killed at least 15 people in eastern Baghdad, Iraq, outside the main entrance of the police academy. The attack additionally wounded at least 21 people. 7 others were killed in 2 attacks located north of Baghdad in Diyala province. The first attack had 4 people gunned down at a house late on Saturday night. The second attack had 3 people shot by gunmen who opened fire at a checkpoint just south of the provincial capital. Now let's have a look at what's happening domestically. The U.S. has okayed new nuclear reactors a year after the disaster in Japan. The reactors in the U.S. have the same design as the Fukushima Daiichi plant. Many of the plants are aging, but they have gone through safety improvements. GE has stated that the design is proven to be both reliable and safe to use in the United States. For a quick Whitney Houston follow-up, Whitney was buried and laid to rest in Fairview Cemetery. She was also placed next to her father in a private service. A teen mom and child are missing in Ohio. The suspect is said to be a violent sexual predator. The suspect is armed with a 9mm handgun and is an ex-boyfriend of the mother and father of the child as well. More than 1/3 of cargo enters the United States in passenger airplanes and jets. Transportation authorities are required to screen all the cargo. TSA has not been screening all the cargo from other countries. Security concerns have been raised after a 2010 printer bomb scare. Alright, well thanks for watching our video. If you do enjoy watching our project, please tell your friends and family about it. It would mean so much. And remember to like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube videos. And next week I promise Elisa will be here. It won't just be me. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great night. Bye.